You guys really love these grocery hauls, so we're back with another one. If you're new to my page, I'm a registered dietitian and I create recipes that are not only delicious, but high protein, low calorie, and most importantly, affordable. So if you're like me and you enjoy food but don't like spending a lot of money, make sure you subscribe. Food costs are getting crazy these days, so I try to create recipes that fit into most people's budget. I typically buy enough groceries for 3 different recipes at a time. This may not look like much, but this is actually gonna make about 18 meals. One of the meal preps that I'm gonna be doing is a little bit different than my normal stuff, but I'll get into that later. As you can see here, I've got 2 pounds of ground beef, not cheap. I've got some frozen veggies. I got a few things back here. I got a big thing of chicken here, cost almost $15. As you can see on the receipt here, all of this cost $36.59. With these ingredients making about 18 meals, spending less than $40, that's less than $2.50 per meal. There were a couple of items I already had on hand, like these mushrooms here. I'm probably gonna use those in one of the recipes. And then one of the recipes is just chicken. So typically you would want to pair that with like some sort of vegetable. I had some frozen broccoli on hand, but a bag of that is only about $1. So even with those added items, the cost is still going to be about $40. Tomorrow's meal prep day, I'll go into more detail and let you guys know what I'll be making with all these ingredients. Meal prep day is here, and the first recipe we're going to make is homemade Salisbury steak with mashed potatoes. I'm excited about this recipe for a few reasons. Number one, a lot of people have requested it. Number two, I've never actually made this recipe, and I love making new things. And number three, I freaking love Salisbury steak. I've had it at restaurants, I've had it in the frozen food section, and I love all of them. So hopefully this one turns out good. As you can see, there's really not a lot of ingredients here. I'm using instant mashed potatoes just for the convenience. You can always make homemade, but with my content, I use a lot of convenience items to, number one, show you that you don't have to make everything from scratch, and number two, to show you that convenience foods can be a part of a nutritious diet. This bag here is going to stretch across 6 different meals, and it only costs $2.48. If you've never used these, they're super easy to make. You just add some hot water and you're done. Obviously, I needed ground beef. I got 2 pounds. I'm only gonna use 1.5 pounds. So if you can buy 1.5 pounds, that'll reduce the cost a little bit, but I'll find something to do with the extra 0.5 pound. These were $5.56 each, so these came out to $11.12. Protein in the meal is typically gonna be the highest cost item. This is one reason I use chicken a lot. It's fairly cheap and it's very versatile. And again, going back to convenience items, I am using instant gravy. You can make gravy from scratch, it's up to you. I personally love the way these taste and they're super easy. These gravy packets are only 40 cents each, so super cheap. I have an onion here, it's gonna go in. This was 75 cents. And I don't always include every single item in these grocery hauls. Some of these items I do have on hand at home already. For instance, I will be using some breadcrumbs and I'm gonna be using some mushrooms in the gravy. I had these on hand already, so they're not included in this grocery haul, but I do include them in the cost breakdown of the recipe in my recipe videos. The only thing I don't include in those cost breakdowns are things like oil, milk, eggs, and seasonings. But these mushrooms are just over $2, breadcrumbs are just over $1. So even with these items included, everything you need to make this recipe comes out to just over $18, so about $3 per meal. Because I'm a registered dietitian, I get a lot of questions when a recipe doesn't include a lot of vegetables. Typically, I try to incorporate things like broccoli and spinach in most recipes, but sometimes they just don't fit. So what I recommend is just serve a side salad or a side of your favorite roasted vegetable. I had this frozen broccoli on hand. These are about $1 each, and this is probably what I'll serve on the side of my meals. And when it comes to choosing vegetables, it doesn't have to be organic, it doesn't have to be fresh. It can be frozen, it can be canned, whatever you prefer and whatever you have access to. This frozen broccoli is just as nutritious as the fresh kind. So I'm gonna get to work on this recipe. Hopefully it turns out, and in the next shot, I'll show you the final product. And success. Just like all of my other recipes, it's macro friendly. Add a side of your favorite veggies, and this is ready to go. Not sure exactly where this will be posted yet, my Patreon or YouTube, but the recipe will be coming soon. And today is chicken day. I bought about 5 pounds of chicken for just over $14. At the Walmart near me, it's $2.97 per pound. It actually just dropped from $3.24 a pound. I know the cost of chicken is different for everybody, so these prices are for me here in Tampa, Florida. So this meal is actually not my traditional meal prep style recipe. A lot of people have requested me to show them how to prep ingredients instead of actual meals. So with this chicken, I'm doing more of a meat prep instead of a meal prep. It's gonna be super easy, that's why there's not a lot here. I've got my chicken and I've got 3 different types of seasoning. These seasoning packets are super cheap. You can make your own seasoning at home or buy something like this. Basically what I'm gonna do is pop this chicken in the crock pot, let it cook, and then once it's done, I'm gonna shred it, divide the chicken into 3 different containers, and season each container with a different seasoning. And what that does is it gives you variety throughout the week. Depending on the type of seasoning, you can match it with some rice, a veggie of your choice. A lot of people say they get burnt out. This is a great way to change things up throughout the week. The 3 seasonings I chose are garlic parm, taco seasoning, and ranch. Garlic parm was the most expensive. It was $1.12. The ranch was 50 cents, and the taco seasoning was about 42 cents. I'm gonna be using 3 pounds of chicken with these seasoning packets, so that comes out to less than $9. Even after you pair it with a vegetable or a starch, the total cost of the meals per week is probably gonna be less than $2. Like I said, this is almost 5 pounds of chicken. I'm only using 3 pounds for this. The remaining pound and a half I'm gonna use in my final recipe. So I'm gonna pop this in the crock pot, get it working, and show you the final product. And there we go, crock pot shredded chicken 3 ways. Got my taco seasoning, the ranch, and the garlic parm. You could do tacos with this one, maybe a salad with this one maybe with some veggies or rice. There's really no wrong way to eat them, but again, super versatile. And for the last meal prep recipe, I hope you guys aren't burnt out on stuffing because that's what we're making. I know Thanksgiving just passed, but honestly, one of my favorite side dishes at Thanksgiving is the stuffing, so I really wanted to turn it into a meal prep. With the ingredients here, I'm gonna be making a chicken stuffing. I've got my remaining pound and a half of chicken here, so at $2.97 per pound, it comes out to less than $5 for the chicken. I'm using frozen veggies. These are only just over $1 each. Chicken broth actually just went down in price at my Walmart. It dropped from $1.33 to $1 a box. Obviously, I've got the stuffing here, super cheap, only 88 cents. And then I'm going to be using a cream of potato soup. I'm not a huge fan of cream of chicken soup, but you can use it in this recipe if you can't find the potato soup. But I really like the cream of potato soup. I feel like it has a much better flavor. So everything you see here is less than $9. With these ingredients alone, divided by 6 meals, it will come out to $1.41 per meal. There's gonna be a few other things that I had on hand, like some light sour cream and some butter. So once you factor those in, it might come closer to $2 per meal, but still pretty cheap. Again, I love stuffing, so I'm really excited to make this recipe. Just like all of my other recipes, I'm gonna keep the protein high and I'm gonna keep it under 500 calories. Let's take a look at the next shot and see how it turned out. And here it is. This turned out really delicious, but I might be a little biased. I love pretty much anything with stuffing in it. Just a few ingredients, toss them in the crock pot, then pop it in the oven, and you get a high protein meal. This was made with shredded chicken, but it can be done with any leftover turkey from Thanksgiving. So there you go, another grocery haul video. I kept this one under $40. My grocery hauls for 3 recipes is typically around $45 to $50. This one was a little bit lower because one of the meals wasn't an actual full meal prep. But if you guys would like to see more videos of ingredient preps like I did with the chicken, drop me a comment and let me know what you would like to see. Some people have asked for recipes for different side dishes, so I might start making some videos on those. If you guys enjoy these videos, show some love, hit that like button, drop a comment, and make sure you subscribe. And as always, if you want more meal prep recipes, be sure to check out my Patreon. It's essentially my living, breathing cookbook. I update it weekly with an exclusive recipe, and I also post things like bento boxes, overnight oats, baked oats, smoothies, sample meal plans, and so much more. And the best part is there's no pause and screenshot ingredients. Every recipe comes with a printable PDF with easy to follow ingredients and instructions. And for only $5 a month, you'll save 10 times that amount on your grocery bill just by following my recipes. So check out the link to my Patreon below. Make sure you subscribe here, turn on notifications so you never miss a video. See you guys in the next one.